Alright guys, welcome to the final lecture on writing for orchestral forces. We're going to take this lecture a little bit differently this time. We'll be listening through each track separately as a whole rather than going through each section at a time. And then we'll go through each bit separately, looking at it in detail, mainly through the important parts. And because this is trailer music, I'll be throwing in some sound design hits, booms and brahms too, because we want as big a sound as possible. So similarly to the uplifting, I'm starting with a boom, but I've also got some brahms in there as well. I consider brahms as an important part of any track, especially the darker hybrid ones, so I'm using them here just to showcase them a little bit more in a supportive way rather than as for an edit point. The second half of the intro, we're building up more. The hits are bigger sooner than they were in the uplifting one, but they're still quite sparse, so there's plenty of time to build them up. In the midsection, we layer the hits up a little bit more, but I keep them sparse still. So we still want to leave room for sound design or other interesting synth leads, which aren't in this example, but they'll be covered in later lectures. We're still adding more layers to the midsection further on. This takes us into the transition between the midsection into the back end. It's important not to add too many high-end sounds because it does tire the ears out. But equally, with the correct amount of usage, it really brings the track to life and adds a real good amount of excitement to it. As you can see, I've only got cymbals playing once every 4 bars, apart from the end where they're playing a few times within the space of 2 bars, which is fine because remember, like we did with the uplifting, we're at the end and we want to really amp it up a bit. So with the second part of the back end, there's a new percussive bed in the taiko ensemble. I've also added a noise pulse to accentuate the rhythm a bit more. Again, the noise pulse is really pushing the high frequencies up, so I'm only using it for this section of the track. Just before that though, in the first back end section, I've also added a noise wave. Let me just show you what that sounds like. On its own, it's not great, but within the mix, like I said, it adds that exciting high-end tension and airiness. But its main purpose for me here is that it's preparing us for the end of the track, which we're bringing out all the frequencies a lot more. So to round things off, as with all things trailery, start small, get bigger and gradually. Things that are great for power in the mix include cymbals, gongs and whoosh hits, but remember not to overuse them. Compressors and other punchy sounds are your friends. Drums work really well with booms and hits, but again, don't overuse them. Keep massive and high-end sounds for really special big moments, such as the beginning of a new section or the end of the track. The main thing to think about overall, though, when writing everything, is layering and doubling. Bass, strings, choir, they're all doing similar things. They're taking care of the melody and the chords, but I'm using each instrument to its personal strengths. For example, the low instruments are playing the bass line, powerful ones playing the melodies in the late, mid to back sections. So that's all for this set of lectures. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you can take something away from them. See you in the next lecture.